Austin. Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Well, it was a really good movie. This is called City of God. It's a Brazilian movie. And, it reminded me a lot about my life as a crime fighter. And, it really showed me that the city I live in is not perfect like this city, like this Brazilian slum. But it can be with the help of good people, ready to believe in the virtues of justice. Little background on this story. It's based on a true story of a young boy who lives in the slums. And it starts out like this. The main character, Rocket, which is similar and has almost as many letters as Batman, is a young boy in what they call the City of God, which is a little slum outside of Rio de Janeiro in Brazil. So, his brother is a gangster in this city. And the reason he's a gangster is because there are no jobs. Everyone is poor. And selling fish does not bring in the cash. So, one day, he decides to gather a group of friends. Mind you, this is not the main character, this is his older brother. To gather a group of friends and join a gang to rob gasoline trucks. Well, this does not work. This leads to a life of crime and injustice. And soon, this gang of 3 misunderstood young men is murdered by a younger kid of one of the other gang members who sets them up and shoots them all, who will eventually become the leader of the City of God in the future, Little Zay, as they call him. Lil Dice is his correct name in the movie, the English name. So, Lil Zay, you skip ahead now, this is part of the movie is dealing with cycles, right? So the movie skips ahead here into the future. Lil Zay, who just had about 5 or 6 years ago killed off his brother and the other gang members, is now the crime leader in the City of God. And he runs the place according to his will. No one else is in charge. Everyone follows his laws. The laws of injustice and crime. Now the police are paid to keep out. They're corrupt. Like Lil Zay, Lil Dice. He is the one with the money, not the good-doing people of the City of God. And it shows how corrupt this city, this slum, this poverty-stricken place is. And it is quite sad to see. He is the government of the city. And there's specifically one scene where this group of young upstarts, about 5 or 6, they rob a bakery, which is strictly against Lil Zay's laws, because he pays the cops to keep out, and when something does go wrong, though, they will come in. And so because this bakery is robbed, the cops come in and they disturb the operations of Lil Zay. So, he gathers up a new recruit and tells him to come with him, and they go and find the runts. And they get 2 of them. The others run away, but they grab 2 of them. And he asks them if they want to be shot in the hand or in the foot. They both say, in the foot. And so he shoots, Lil Zay shoots them in the foot. Then he tells the new recruit, who's not much older than these boys, about 6 or 7, to shoot one of them. Just pick one of them and shoot him. And he does. And it just shows you the desperation of the young men of the city and how they are turned in to a life of crime and injustice and preying on the innocent. And it's just a sad thing to see. Yes, you know, it's hard to talk about, but my parents were brutally murdered by people not much different than these people. And, you know, to see 6, 7, and 8-year-olds in a drug cartel smoking marijuana and robbing businesses shows the sadness of this extreme poverty in the city of God. But at the same time, it shows the nature of this destructive culture. It becomes very apparent in this movie that this hood life is the easiest and most attractive path to wealth and success. And I think back on my life when my parents were brutally murdered. And I wanted to avenge them by killing their murderer. But I realized that it wasn't the path of justice. Murder, killing the innocent, killing those misunderstood is not justice. It is just more misunderstanding. And when I see these youth look up to the drug dealers as examples of manliness and success, it pains me. It pains me quite a bit. As one young misunderstood hoodlum says, "A kid? No, I smoke pot, I snort, I've killed and robbed, I am a man." And it just shows how mistaken these youth really are. How their society's depraved, economically and morally. Well, you know, the main character, Rocket, he's a lot like me. He's faced with this chance to join the bad things, to do evil things. But he takes the high road of justice and equality and liberty for all. And although he does get mixed up for a little bit, he thinks he has to do this. He realizes that's not the right way. He does try to rob a bus, but he realizes he can't do it. It's not justice. And so he suffers. While his drug friends make money, he works hard and does his best, much like me. I am not a successful person. I don't make money fighting crime, but I do it because it needs to be done and it's the right thing to do. Well, you know, one of the reoccurring themes of this movie is this vicious cycle. People in this movie set things in motion that come back to bite them. For example, there's parts of this movie, and in the second part, Lil Zay murders the brother of Knockout Ned. Well, Knockout Ned is an ex-Marine. He's a Brazilian Marine. And so he has all this military training. And because his family is murdered, much like mine, he takes the low road. He takes what I was going to do and vows to take vengeance. Well, you know, he at first says, "I'm not going to kill anyone." But that rule quickly changes. He kills someone.